Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this file, and it's made for 5 millimeter wood, and he wants to make it out of 3 millimeter wood. And if we zoom in, and there's only a handful of joints you need to change, and if we look, that is 5 millimeters. That's the only measurement you need to change. You do not need to make this measurement different because the wood is the wood. So when we're trying to make on an inside, we can't change the outside because it would change the dimension of your building. But all we have to do is change your nudge factor to 2 millimeters. Take the shape tool, grab, and see, something's going on with these nodes. They're acting weird, and if I nudge them over, they do that. So you're gonna have to, on this particular one, you're gonna have to nudge them one at a time, and then nudge them one at a time. So that took that measurement from 5 millimeters to 3 millimeters. So you only need to do the joints that are like that and some side joints. Now here, the same thing. You cannot change this. You can't move this up, but you can move these down. And normally you can do these all at one time. But in this particular case, it's doing something weird. I don't know what kind of setting they're at, but just go through there and just nudge these down. Now, in looking at this, these two houses are identical. So you only have to do one side and then delete this side, because this side is exactly like the other one. So just delete this side, fix one more side, and I would really like to, I'm trying to figure out how these nodes are doing this. It's almost like they're in a line mode, or you know what, they might be in elastic mode. That's what it is. Let's turn that off. So now select both these nodes. Oh, good. So you had it on elastic mode. Then, so you've got all those done. The only other two you need to change are these two right here. Now this is going to be a little bit more tricky, because if we look, you can't just change one side. See if this opening is 5 millimeters, and it is. So now we need to set our nudge factor on 1 millimeter. And then take your nodes and move this one with the right arrow key and this one with the left arrow key. That way, that is still in the center of the house. We haven't changed it. Let's just make sure it's 3 millimeters, and it is. And then that one's done. I don't know where these little doors and windows go. So you've got this one. Control D and make a duplicate of it. And I always like setting my duplicate distance on 0, 0, but I'm not going to go. Now, the other parts have this, which is this is more like a snap-on, so it could be real tight, but it still is. So the only way to measure that is take some indexing lines. Let me turn on the indexing lines, and let's make sure Snap to Guidelines is on, and it is. We'll bring in another indexing line. This is the only way to truly measure, because you can't measure around that corner. So let's measure now a 2-point line. Well, measure with the line, not the line itself. So we got 5 millimeters. So what we need to do is take the shape tool, and there's a lot of nodes in that curve. But if we take this and nudge it over to the right, now you've got, if we move this line in, we can actually measure from the center now. That says 4. Oh, remember I changed my duplicate distance to 1. So what we need to do is click on these and then double click on them. Now that leaves them not as much wood, and you might have to play around. I've never seen this type of, it's a joint make it easier to fit through the hole. I've never seen that type. And then all you have to do is do, you know, this piece and this piece look identical. So just do one side and delete it, and then do this bottom. And do these leg joints, same thing. You know, see, I'm going to show you how hard it is to measure when you can't have a line here. You can't measure, so you need to bring in an indexing line to that bottom and an indexing line to the top, and then you could measure. You have 5 millimeters. So just grab these two nodes with the shape tool and nudge them up twice, and there you go. You have 3 millimeters. Anyway, I hope that answered his question, and thank you for watching.